Hey, what's up? This is Frank. Let me say I'm not a financial advisor. Anything that I say in this video should be used for entertainment purposes only. Whatever I say in this video is my opinion. It may not necessarily be factual. Look,
Hey
I want
guys.
to give a shout out. For me, this YouTube thing has always been, man, about business. Me, like I always say, man, I don't have nothing personal with nobody. But I want to give a shout out, man, to a few people because these people keep me motivated. Sometimes I get tired, man. I watch their videos, I get motivated. I want to give a shout out to.
Well, I appreciate this, Frank. I mean, that's really just too kind of you. I accept your shout out with open arms.
Lou versus Wall Street. Al from Boston. Ape Nation Will, Feel for Real, AB Investment, Massalorian, and
Scott fucking Allen.
Tony De Niro. I got to give those guys a shout out, man, because sometimes when I get tired, I watch their channel. It's just, so I got to give them a shout out. But look, man, AMC is probably one of the most powerful and most popular stocks in the stock market, along with GME. And see, it's crushing a lot of people. But the funny thing is, AMC kind of remind me, of Kobe Bryant. Kobe was one of the best players, man, to ever play in the NBA. And if you notice, when it came to Kobe,
yeah, and do I need to point out the obvious here? Like, it was a tragic loss. It was a tragic loss. And really, it kind of set the tone for 2020 in a way. That was before COVID and all that. So, anyway, okay, this analogy.
A lot of people tune in to watch him, man, because they either loved him or they hated him. And the haters tuned in to watch him play because although they hated him and they didn't like him, his game was so tight. And the things that he used to do on the court was so awesome that even the haters didn't have no choice, man, but to tune in and watch him. And they kind of remind me of AMC stock. You got those of us, man, that got the stock that's in the short squeeze play. We love the stock. But then you got those individuals that don't like the content creators. They don't like AMC. They don't like the short squeeze play. But
how about if we say we don't like liars and grifters and frauds? How about that? That's what it is. I don't give a fuck about AMC stock. Really, it's another stock. There's a lot of stock. There's thousands of stocks. I don't have enough energy or time or desire to have personal feelings about every fucking stock. It's, can I make money? How could I make money? Okay, let me try that or whatever. But the notion that people who are critical of the AMC grifters hate AMC, it's just, it's just garbage. And it seems like Tanko here called him a fraud, so now he's pissed. Well, I mean, he just needs to take some strike up. Just take some strike up and get your mind off it, Frankie. It's not worth being pissed about, my friend.
It's so powerful. It's so popular. They have to tune in just to see what's going on with the stock. Even
if I had to tune in to see what was going on with the stock, wow, that would be a sad state of affairs. But I mean, it's more like I want to see what you guys are saying about the stock, what you guys are fucking misleading people with about the stock. That's what it is.
Even though they don't like the haters still got to tune in because they know the popularity of the stock. But not only that, man, because they tune in because they know also that it's so popular that it brings some traffic to their channel and they're able to get just some crumbs. You see what I'm saying? Get a little money so they tune in whether they like it or not.
I don't get any money.
But the thing is, check this out. When AMC short squeeze, the individuals that be hating on the stock They're going to be the main ones that try to FOMO in when they start ripping and start running. They ain't going to say nothing. They ain't going to tell nobody. But when they start ripping, because they tuning in all the time. So when they start ripping and start running, they're going to try to get into play. They're going to try to FOMO in. Why wouldn't they? If they so desperate to the point to where they'll tune in to something just to try to and talk about something, just to try to get some YouTube crumbs. If something ripping like that, you think they're not gonna try to FOMO in the play? So they're gonna try to get in the play. They're gonna try to get in on in the party at the last minute. They're gonna FOMO in when they start ripping. They ain't gonna say nothing. They'll never tell you. But trust me, man, they're gonna try to get into play. But the thing, so the haters, man, gonna end up becoming part of it.
They're gonna be like all of you were last year, essentially. All of the second or third wave AMC buyers that are basically now preventing this from getting higher in terms of overhead supply, right? He's talking about what, do I have it on log? Yeah, I do. All right, I'm going to take my professional hat off here for a second. Go off of log scale, back to regular, linear scale. So he's saying that when it starts ripping and running like it did here, that you're going to have FOMO buying all the way up, all the way up. And let's just pretend that it did happen for a second, right? First of all, you know, all these people that are in here would be trying to get the fuck out. And then secondly, so you're setting up a whole new overhead supply, you know, maybe just a little higher or something here. So then, you know, you have this whole thing again. If it, and this is just pretend, if it did happen. So basically he's saying, do what we did last year. It worked so well. FOMO in at the top. I'm curious to see where he's going to, because like, is he going to say, well, then you're going to be bag holders? Because if he goes there, and they're going to paper hand, if he goes there, that'll be even more fun. All right.
The family, whether they want to or not, they're just not going to tell us. No, why wouldn't they? If they, trying to make a few YouTube crumbs and they go that crazy, you think they're going to look at AMC and see it ripping like that, and they ain't gonna try to get in, but it is what it is. But look, man, everyday hedge funds, they use cheap money and synthetic shares to try to destroy retail investors and different companies. And they've been doing it for a long time. But what they didn't anticipate was us organizing and uniting and fighting back. See, they didn't anticipate that. And see, now that we're fighting back, they can't take the pressure from us fighting back. They can't take the pain. You see what I'm saying? See, they can dish it out. Hedge funds and 1%ers, they can dish it out, but they can't take it. But the sad thing is, when it comes to the 1%ers, the hedge funds, and the short sellers, no matter how reckless they are, they can cost the stock market trillions of dollars. As a matter of fact, they said that recently, man, trillions of dollars have been removed from the stock market. So no matter how reckless they are or what they do, man, they still get a bailout. It's like rich people, they get all the help, whether it be from the government, the political system, or whether it be from the financial institutions. The 1%ers and the rich people, man, they get all the help.
He needs MOASSSS so he can buy a cover for that couch. What's his mother going to say? Or what would his mother say? Or I don't know. I mean, oh God, this is hard.
But the people that really need help, they can't get the help. They can't get the help. That's because, man, the financial system, as well as the government, is rigged. Because regular, ordinary people, man, can't get help when they need. They can't get no bailout for nothing. But they.
Well, I mean, there might be some truth in there. There might be some truth in some of what he's saying right now. But the reality is, like, the way out of that is to learn. Like, you can say the financial system's rigged and all this kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I made like $700 or $800 today trading. Like, one stock, well, an ETF. And, I can do that because I've taken the time to learn, and I've failed a lot, yes. But it's in those failures that I learn a little bit each time, right? And, God willing, knock on wood, when I see an opportunity and I employ the strategies that I've refined, this makes it sound way more, much of anything than it actually is. But the key is, like, you have to learn, you have to try it. And yeah, I mean, I almost thought it was Tanko saying this because it's in capitals, all caps. But I mean, Lynn's saying, yeah, we just had a huge pandemic stimulus, a lot of which went right back to the top. And, why would that be? Well, because you had a bunch of people, at least in terms of AMC, who, it wasn't enough to get more money than they would get before the pandemic, or to save it or whatever. I need to roll the dice with it, and everything that happened after that, and still continuing seemingly with these stocks and new ones like Red Fox. Yes, Red Fox, you heard it right. So yeah, it's like underlying all of this, yeah, probably is an unfair, corrupt system. But at the end of the day, like, nobody wants to hear people complain about that all the time. Nobody wants to hear people complain about anything all the time, much less how unfair the world is and everything. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, it sucks for a lot of people. It sucks for a lot of people worse than it sucks for this guy. But, ultimately, let me quote, let me bring back a relevant quote here from the 90s and relevant now, maybe. Life finds a way. You find a way, you fucking overcome, and I'm not going to say don't complain. I'm not going to say it's not hard, but everybody needs support and a shoulder to cry on. Yes, but 2, 3, 4 years ago, I wouldn't have had such an easy time trading options and making money, being profitable, more than losing money. Over time, that changes. So, is it reasonable to expect amazing, astronomical, life-changing, generational returns from one play that is a lot of people's first play? I don't remember the first trade that I made way, a few years ago, but I can guarantee you I didn't make any money. So, it is what it is. Tanko says the system is like a casino. It ain't rigged to cheat you. It's rigged to make it difficult for you to win. And there's truth in that. I've said this before, that learning how to trade and invest is kind of like, if you could, and then you can't, but if you could know, and you kind of, I take that back, you sort of can, because you can know the odds of different games in the casino. So every game has a set of odds, and even within the game, there are different odds for different aspects of the game, like on a craps table. And so there are strategies that are, not way more in your favor, but certainly more in your favor. Model 3 dudes here. Hello. And, or blackjack. There is a strategy. There is blackjack basic strategy. And if you follow that strategy, And it really, that's in a lot of ways similar to trading, because there's that random aspect to it. There is a random aspect to it. There's also a set of rules, mechanical rules that you follow. You do not deviate from the rules. And if you do that, you will avoid losing a lot of money. And when the opportunities present themselves, because it's kind of random when they do, you will stand to profit, to make money. So yeah, that's a good analogy. And I've said before, just in more basic terms, if you could go into the casino and say, all right, there's all these slot machines, and that's like low skill, very low odds. But if you somehow knew, because you did your research beforehand or whatever, which machines were more likely to hit a jackpot, and you went to those machines, that was my analogy last year. And so this is a much better analogy that Tenko's saying here. But that's the analogy for me to being an informed investor. In very basic, non-specific analogy, but you have to go in with some knowledge and then employ that knowledge and know when to leave. It's also another big point. Know when to leave, cash out, and get the hell out. Because, yes, the lights are on all the time in the casino. And if you let them, or if you let yourself, let me say it that way, if you let yourself do it, you can easily crash and burn. And it's the same with this, but I mean, this is so far beyond, what he's talking about here. He's just saying, go in, put all of your money on black at the roulette wheel. Put all your money on black, and it will hit black, and you will win $1 trillion. I mean, it's not how it works, And that's right. I mean, people think it's the king's job to feed them. They expect the system to work in their favor. And, and like the casino is a for-profit business. Their job is to make money. That's why they exist. The stock market, the marketplace, is a for-profit. I mean, that's what it's all about on every level. But the facilitators of that, the exchange, the market maker, or the other financial services, organizations, firms, brokers, etc., on and on down the line. They are in business to make money. How they do that, they allow you to participate in this marketplace, but it's not a public service. It's not a nonprofit organization. Money talks and bullshit walks. So if you have a lot of money, yeah, you can do some shit. If you don't have a lot of money, it's harder to do some shit. You can still do it, but it takes more skill. It takes more practice. Is it fair? No, but in a system like that, it takes money to make money. Anyway, okay.
They can get all the money. You see what I'm saying? That's why retail investors, that's why we bonded together. We started using the internet, and we started using social media.
So Frank got the internet last year during COVID. He finally got broadband
to fight back, and it's been effective. But man, hedge
wireless
funds, they like parasites. They don't offer, a lot of them, they don't offer nothing productive to society.
That's pretty damning. Like, I don't understand. Does he, look at that face. I got something for you. So, this is garbage. This is a garbage narrative. And you don't have to like hedge funds. But this like black and white, evil, good versus evil narrative is garbage. It's complete garbage. Like, that's not what it is at all. That's, what he's saying. I mean, people are free to think whatever they want, but this is an ignorant take. This is very ignorant. Oh, Scott, you're a shill for the hedge funds. Right. Yeah. That's why I'm sitting in my 800 square foot apartment in Cleveland, Ohio, by myself on a Friday night. Yeah, that's exactly why. Come on. But, it's just part of growing up, being an adult, maybe, like realizing, there are people who do jobs that I don't understand and I don't like. What I know of it, I don't like it. And somebody who is trying to help me understand that doesn't mean that they, do that job. This is very basic. This is like, kindergarten stuff, empathy. Yeah, they hate hedge funds, but they want to make hedge fund money. So what does that leave you? I mean, but they're going to be different. They're going to be altruistic. They're going to be philanthropists. Okay. Well, I mean, people don't want to hear about it, but Ken Griffin has, you can look up his philanthropy and the artwork that's in the Chicago Art Museum that he owns, that he's basically given to the museum. I mean, it's not like rich people don't do anything with their money that help other people. That's just kind of absurd, and at the end of the day, they don't have to do that. Nobody has to do anything like that. So the apes say that they're going to whatever, buy people, buy everybody a house or whatever. Well, that's what actual wealthy people don't do. They don't just give people money and buy them things, expensive things, buy people houses. That's how lottery winners lose their fortunes. It happens all the time, more often than not. So they're not wealth material. They're not could you imagine this guy with $10 million? I mean, holy shit. I mean, look out. I'm staying off the roads. I can tell you that.
Man, is just take. And they make big.
He can't take a screenshot. He can't show a video on his video. But he's going to beat hedge funds. That's good, Penny. That's good.
Millions of dollars just by manipulating the financial system.
What does that even mean, manipulating the financial system? What that means is they have a lot of money to spend. And that's not even individuals at that point. You're talking about institutions. You're talking about firms. You're talking about entities that are larger than one person. Yeah, they have a lot of money. That means they can buy a lot of shit or sell a lot of shit. So instead of fighting that, instead of saying, well, they're selling, so I'm going to buy, why don't you try to go with the current? That's something I feel like it opens up a whole new world of possibilities when you're in the market. And you get rid of this garbage narrative that honestly, the first time I heard this was last year from Trey and others like Trey, Matt Kohrs, anybody who was talking about the hedgies last year, basically. But this, hedge funds versus retail narrative, like that is kind of the dumbest thing. And it kind of, to quote Short the Vix, kind of, that's the quote, kind of, sets them up for losses, like perpetual losses, because you won't fucking beat these institutions. It shouldn't even be your goal to do that. It really shouldn't. I mean, this is well known. This is a widely known thing. You don't try to fight the market, especially in something like this that's so high profile and everybody's talking about it over on Reddit, like everything that they're going to do. And they're doing it with Redbox. Here's a Redbox subreddit. How do we file a lawsuit? I mean, it's like Redbox is a third world country, and AMC is like, you know, a more developed country, not a first world nation by any stretch. But they've figured out how to purify water and, you know, basic societal things. But Redbox is like, you know, it's just like the Mars colony or something. It's destitute. They're figuring everything out for the first time. Market makers took away the option buy button. Oh, they took away the option buy button. Yeah, good luck. But see, over here on this world, in this country, or from the country that we're in, we can look over and see the country the apes are in and say, yeah, they tried that. It didn't work. You know, they tried it. It didn't work. So don't even worry about it. You know, it's just interesting because they're reinventing the wheel essentially. Like, I can't and look at this. It's like everything. The Battle of 1201. AMC had the Battle of 801. We've got 1201, and that was a win because everybody who had a $12 call option is going to exercise it because it closed at 1201. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, I know that, yeah, here it is. Closed over 12. Now for market maker to find 2.5 million shares. Tuesday should be a very nice day. For that reason alone, because of this statement right here, if I had the money to do it, I would make sure that Tuesday was a fucking shit day for you. Because you are stupid enough, first of all, to believe this. Secondly, why would you say that? I mean, they will never find those shares. Okay, here you go. That's not how it works. The vast majority of those 12 call buyers just lost all of their extrinsic value and most likely don't even have the funds to exercise their options. True. Exercising a $12 strike when the underlying is the same price isn't much pressure to the market maker. It'll basically become another FTD. Well, I don't even know about that. No reason to, because they know that they're not going to be exercised, and they probably already hedged it by using other options in the option chain to protect themselves. So, dude, like, that's what I thought would happen. It'd turn into FTDs, and we'd get them shares bought back in T+2, or am I off? Yeah, no. It's like now all of a sudden, call options expiring in the money. Like, oh, we have this many call options expiring in the money this week. Okay, who cares? Who cares? That alone doesn't mean anything. Means nothing. But, you know, you can't tell these people anything because they have to figure it out. But AMC never figured it out because they still say the same shit. So it's a totally fucked up situation. God, almost done with this.
You main is just take. You see what I'm saying? All they do is just steal money from the American people.
Steal money.
And shut companies down just for their own personal greed. But see,
well, that's stupid. No, they don't. Why would they do that? Do you think that no Wall Street institutional investor, hedge fund manager, whoever, had kids that, and I'm using an ape meme here, that liked Toys R Us? I know. But just to put it in terms that they understand, you think that there weren't wives of hedge fund managers who like to shop on overstock.com? I mean, what is the point? Why would you say all hedge funds want to do is drive companies out of business? Well, that's a pretty shitty business model, really, if you think about it, because they're trading a stock, and you're saying all they want to do is run all these companies out of business. Great, so they can't trade the stock anymore. Nobody can trade the stock. You can't. It can create no more wealth for anybody. I'm the last person that will ever make money on AMC because I'm going to put it out of business, and that makes me feel like I have the biggest dick in the room. I mean, this is what they think? I think. I don't know. Personal greed. Yeah, it's because of personal greed. Something the apes know nothing about. They know nothing about personal greed. $100,000 a fucking share. $1 million a share if you're fucking shill from Boston. Jesus fuck.
See, the days of them, man, becoming multi-billionaires on Wall Street by taking retail investors' money, man, those days are over with.
Okay, now we get a jump to something that is completely... How do you get from there to here? How do you get from hedge funds have the power to bankrupt companies, and they do it, to those days are over? How do you get from that to that? What? Because you're holding on to a stock of a dying company. Wow, that takes a lot of conviction. That takes a lot of risk aversion to sit there and hold a stock that's gone down 80% since its all-time high, 60% since the beginning of the year. That, you're going to change the world with those diamond balls. Let me tell you, Jesus.
See, now retail investors, we done learned the game, man, and we causing hedge funds to lose billions of dollars. A lot of them, man, they're going out of business.
What about? I mean, I can't. Why do they say this? Why do they say this shit? Like, if you shorted the stock here, let's just say you shorted it here, or if you shorted it here, or anywhere, you've made money. So anywhere above where the stock currently is here. So how have the apes caused? I mean, yes, GameStop, but that was last year, and it was a different stock. That's a key difference. So, and it was kind of a one-time thing. Maybe they see the ortex bullshit and say, oh, well, the ortex says, that short sellers have lost this amount of money or whatever. Well, I mean, that's the other side of the coin. It's not a loss until you sell. That's how they trick themselves. It's not a loss until you sell.
Being destroyed, and they being forced to file bankruptcy. But the difference is, we crushing them and running them out of business, and we're not committing a crime.
Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now wait a minute. I'm sensing a little bit of a double standard here. Catching that? The hedge funds, they run companies out of business. The apes are going to put the hedge funds out of business. So it's a big catch-22. It's a paradox. It's okay for the apes to do it because they're not doing anything illegal. Well, actually, engineering a short squeeze is technically not legal. It is in the Securities Act. It does say that. Now, in the past, it was done by different means. It wasn't really a collection of individual investors. It would have been, one whale or a group of large investors or institutions to corner the market. It happened a lot. But, I mean, never mind the fact that where's the evidence of anything illegal done by the hedge funds? Oh, well, Scott, they're investigating the hedge funds, the DOJ this, the DOJ that. Okay? I mean, innocent until proven guilty has gone out the window when it comes to Ken Griffin. Oh, he's obviously guilty. Oh, he's a criminal. Oh, I'm not going to sell it until he's in a jail cell. I mean, it's just double standard after double standard, hypocrisy after hypocrisy. How is this thing still going on? That's my question. How in the fuck? How are people this ignorant? How are people this willing to continue believing the same lies and fraudulent statements and all that shit over and over and over and over again? Meanwhile, the stock just keeps either going sideways, going up a little bit, and then going back down. Like, clearly, it's not happening. So, what in the fuck? You know? God. All right. Come on.
We doing it all legal. You see what I'm saying? So hedge funds and short sellers, because they over leverage with meme stocks, because they've been gambling in the stock market, because of high interest rate, because of high inflation, and them losing trillions of dollars, man, they being destroyed. And a lot of them, man, gonna be wiped out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna sit back and let them continue to do what they've been doing, which is shorting meme stocks until they run themselves out of business. And we're gonna continue to do what we do.
That makes no sense.
And that's buy and hold until we crush them and until we get life-changing wealth. Thank you for taking time out to watch the video. Have a nice day.
Yep, he's proud of that one. He's like, yeah, I nailed it. I'm going to go take some strike. Eleanor. Okay, I'm going to go take some strike up. And, well, first, maybe I'll look at my network marketing materials. I mean, okay, listen to this. Listen to this. Here we go. Yeah, BlackRock and Fidelity and Vanguard will make trillions, quadrillions, if MOASSSS were to happen. So, well, okay. Here's where we get Red Fox from.
Hey, this is Frankie. Let me say I'm not a financial advisor. Anything that I say in this video should be used for entertainment purposes only. Whatever I say in this video is my opinion. It may not necessarily be factual. Look, man, I'm not in Redbox, but I'm doing this video because what's taking place in Redbox right now is related to AMC. That's why I'm doing this video. So everybody's talking about it.
So it's related to AMC. All right, we'll keep that in mind.
And really what they just did is that they killed a lot of the buying pressure on Redbox to try to make sure that retail investors don't make a lot of money. You know, and that's what they normally do. It's the same thing that they've done with AMC. In order to make sure that that retail investors can't make a lot of money in AMC as a short squeeze play, they have.
I think that if you believe that, you should just get the fuck out of the market. Like, you don't belong in the stock market, right? If you think that Wall Street, everything they do is to prevent retail investors from making money, why would you participate in it? Well, unless you're under the delusion that you can change that somehow. But I mean, how much money do you have to lose before you realize that you can't? That's my question.
Had to kill the buying pressure. And they just did the same thing with Redbox. But with Redbox, in a sophisticated way, what they just did was they moved the buy button. You see what I'm saying? They restricted retail ability to be able to make money through option trading, because they know a lot of retail investors were making money, you know, by opening up option contracts. So what they did, so what happened, all the big option exchanges, they set Redbox options to position closing only. You couldn't buy no new option contracts. The only thing,
you know what? That saved retail investors a lot of fucking money. That's the irony here. What that did, it saved retail investors money.
You could do is close your contracts out. See, that's the game that they played. See, the devil, man, and his clique, it's okay for them to make a lot of money with Redbox as a pump and dump short squeeze play.
Whoa. Whoa. Wait a minute. Did I just hear what I thought I heard?
The devil, man, and his clique couldn't buy no new option contracts. The only thing you can do is close your contracts out. See, that's the game that they played. See, the devil, man, and his clique, it's okay for them to make a lot of money with Redbox as a pump and dump short squeeze play. It's cool for them to make money. But when it comes to retail investors making money off that particular pump and dump stock, then man, they got a problem with it. And they want.
He just said that Redbox was a pump and dump. And he said that Redbox is related to AMC, and he's talking about Redbox as if it kind of like was another AMC. Is he saying that AMC is a pump and dump? It kind of sounds like it. It kind of sounds like he believes these stocks are similar. They're both meme stocks, both meme stocks. Did he just inadvertently say that AMC was a pump and dump? And also, yeah, it's okay for Wall Street to make money on these pump and dumps. Okay, yeah, sure. But it's not okay for retail to do it. It's not okay for retail to do it. Well, I mean, shit. I traded a put on Bed Bath & Beyond earlier this week and made a couple $100. So, what are you talking about? Like, there's enough shitty stocks to go around. You can make money on them. But see, the reason that retail investors don't, again, it goes back to education. It goes back to knowing what and how to trade, right? Like, it's not their responsibility that you lost money. That attitude, like that, and it's hard for some people to get over the fact that it's always your responsibility. Like, always. Like, it's not anyone else's, because you entered the trade if you're allowed to, wink wink, and you got out of the trade. And the whole thing is doing that at the right time in the right instruments. That's all it is, really. Simple, right? But you might be influenced by something, like one of these influencers, or a news article, or whatever. Jim Cramer. Well, if you act upon that information and leave the trade at a time that is unprofitable for you, that's still your fault. That's still your fault. You were influenced by something, and you had a bias, and you acted on that bias. We fight, well, Bad Back's not here, but so my wire quotes might go unnoticed and not understood. But this narrative, it's just what do you want? What do you want? You want Wall Street to hold your hand and say, here you go, little guy. Here, have some profit. Let's slow down. We're going to slow down a little bit so you guys can, catch up. What the fuck is I don't even understand what the end game is here. Thank you. These people refuse to train themselves in trading. Right. Like, how many times, it's always continual refinement. And I still make the same stupid mistakes, but now I understand. Now I know. And I'm able to catch myself beforehand. How many times everybody has to deal with this? Nobody's born with these. Maybe some people are, but I sure wasn't. And it's hard to not have a bias, and it's hard not to act on emotions and say, you know what, I'm down $700 right now, but I have objective reasons why I'm not closing this trade. Not, I'm down 80% and I'm staying in because the shorts must cover. All the shorts have to cover. Shorts haven't covered. And it's a year and a half later, and they're still saying the same things. That's not what I'm talking about. at all. That's not really conviction. It's stupidity. It's flying by the seat of your pants, hoping, praying, not really knowing. And it's faith. That is a realm of faith, again, which doesn't belong anywhere in the market. Anyway, Jesus.
Want to prevent.
Right. So Tanko's saying in the market, people win and lose, and Badback says this too. When he's here, he talks about there have to be losers in the market. Somebody, not everybody's going to win. It doesn't work like that. It's not how it works. It can't work like that. It literally cannot work like that, and it won't, because that's not how things work. Put bluntly, it's not how it works. People are going to lose, and they believe when they lose, it's a fraud. And, like a lot of people think that, but I mean, people who are successful in the market, it seems like they are able to get over that, or they move past that and they realize, okay, it's not a fraud. I might curse Wall Street, but really I'm cursing myself. I'm mad at myself because I fell for whatever, or whatever it was. But they don't get over that. They never get over that hump. And do they really think hedge funds will be able to keep a 2 years loss off the books from their shareholders? And especially when hedge funds had like record profit. Well, Ken Griffin's hedge fund had record profit last year and has been doing really well this year too. I don't even know if we know that Citadel even has positions in AMC, short positions. How would we even know that? We know they don't report, they don't have to. So again, it's stupid. But they probably think it's naked shorts because Citadel's a market maker, and everything's conflated because they don't understand it. And synthetic shares are when shares are shorted more than once, right? A synthetic share was created. Did you know that? Okay.
Retail from getting paid. See, it's the way it's set up.
And you don't get paid in the market. I hate that language. I really don't like that language because it's not really the way it is. You're not getting paid. You're making a profit. You're buying something and then you're selling it for a higher price later. It's not really the same thing as getting paid. I mean, yes, you get paid. You get money, okay? So it's the same. But not the way that the way that they say it, the way that they use it. It's like getting paid. You get paid for a job you do. You get paid for something. You get paid for labor that you outlay, that it has value to somebody else. What is the fucking value here? He wants to talk about hedge funds not adding anything to the world. They add no value to the world. I mean, what am I missing here? What the fuck are you actually going to get paid to do? Makes no sense.
I'm doing this video because, like I said, it's
right, related to
AMC. Because the thing is, this should be enough evidence to let people know that if they waiting on the sideline and they think they're going to FOMO in and try to make money off of AMC short squeeze play, man, most likely if you look at what they're doing now, I ain't a financial advisor, but the deal is, the way it's looking now, you look at what they're doing in Red Box, they're not going to let people, man, FOMO in. It's going to be a closed party. And see, what they're going to do is...
Well, that's dumb because you need FOMO. You actually need buying pressure to create a short squeeze. I mean, that's something that the apes never learned or forgot or whatever. They think that a short squeeze is going to happen randomly one day, when there's 33 million shares of volume, and it just doesn't. It makes no sense. Like, short squeezes are it's just such garbage. What's different about here? What's different about here, even? But what's different about here? Like, how can you not see that? And then that everything else that followed was the same bullshit, really. same bullshit price action. And then anytime you did have any type of major moves, oh yeah, it was accompanied by like substantially more volume, twice, 3 times the volume. And then slowly it dwindles down. Yeah, because somebody said they don't have money to buy. And I'm sorry. Yes, Tanko's right. Shorts can be held indefinitely. It's not like AMC is the only thing that hedge funds are trading. Like they have it all, not like Apes. They have 100% of their position in AMC and they're not generating anything otherwise. So it's literally costing them money to be in the market. That's ignorant. That's not the way it is. It's not how it is. And theoretically, yes, they will cover their shares at some point. But, I mean, it's been a year and a half already that there's been no point where they're just like, you know what, we're going to throw in the towel, guys. We're throwing in the towel. I mean, you might want to throw the towel in too. Why would that even happen? Why would all the shorts cover at once anyway if they're not forced to? That's what a short squeeze is. They have to cover. They're forced to. Why? Because the price goes up so much, even in that temporary moment, that it's unsustainable, that they are insolvent. But that's not what's happening here. It will never happen voluntarily. Shorts are covering. What do you think this is? This is a short covering rally, essentially. I mean, basically any of all of the intense buying pressure that you see is short covering. That's the only substantial volume that even occurs in market orders that push the price up like this. That's the reality of it. This is short covering right here. This is short covering. It's market orders pushing the price, pushing the bid price up. And that's the only substantial market buying that occurs at this point. It is. And here again at the end, and you can correlate this with short covering rallies across the whole market. And you have low volume. So, no, not going to happen.
If you're trying to get in, like I said, at the last minute, man, they're going to kill your ability to be able to get in, an AMC short squeeze play at the last minute. They are not going to...
That would be a good thing, actually. That would be a good thing for the Apes.
Allow people to be able to rinse and repeat. They probably going to only be allowing people to close their positions out. So, if you're thinking you're going to be getting in and FOMOing in, it's probably not going to happen. And see, the way Wall Street is set up, if you look at it, it's set up for the hedge funds and the short sellers to come out on top. And then the retail, they want retail to come out on the bottom. And see, if Wall Street makes sure that if hedge funds or short sellers, if they are losing in a big bet, they're going to step in to make sure that they don't lose, or if they losing, they don't lose too big. But now...
Well, then what happened last year? Why did you have hedge funds blow up? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense at all. And it's all about capital. Do you have enough, it just, yeah, no. It's Jesus Christ.
Retail investors, if they in a bet and they losing, Wall Street ain't going to step in and they're not going to help, retail investors. So I just did the video to let people know, hey, look here, man, make your money on Redbox. No, I wouldn't, you got to be crazy, in my opinion. I ain't no financial advisor to stay in Redbox and try to treat it like a short squeeze play because people saying it's going to go to a certain level and try to treat it like AMC, GME. Man, ain't no way I do that. I ain't no financial advisor. People can do what they want to do. I get in, I get out, but man, I wouldn't stay in that play, man, too long. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that. And like I said, if you think that you're going to FOMO in on AMC, it's probably going to be a closed party. And when in closing, the whole Redbox thing, look, man, let me tell you, if you look at what they do in the Redbox, this is my opinion. Ain't nothing but stock market manipulation going on with these stocks when it comes to retail investors. My thing is, the next time, see, because we caught them off guard with AMC and GME. They got caught off guard. and we in it. It's gonna run and we're gonna get paid. But let me tell you something. The way I feel, the next time we get into a short squeeze play like AMC and GME, they're not gonna let retail investors win. They're gonna use every trick in the book to make sure that retail investors don't win.
So no MOASS then. That's what he's saying. It's not gonna happen. Period. Well, we can close up and just, you know, pack up our tent and leave then, right?
They'll prolong that play, man, as long as they have to. They're gonna let if we think that we're gonna be able to come in on a new short squeeze play and get over on them, man, I'm telling you, man, they're not gonna let it happen. They're gonna do it. And whatever hedge funds and short sellers got to do to make sure that they got to stay on top, even if it's stock market manipulation, whatever it is, man, those folks gonna let them do it. So, man, just be careful with red bars. But thanks for taking time out to watch the video. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend. Markets closed Monday. What are they gonna do? Whatever will they do? Oh my gosh. There we go. There we go. Oh, almost. Almost. There we go. There we go. Yeah, my 25-cent lipstick. Right, exactly. Out from Walmart. Revlon. Here you go. This is the most uneducated explanation of how markets work. How does this guy get through life without wearing his helmet? How do these people wipe their ass? That's what I want to know. Like, seriously, this is like, I can't wipe my own ass level incompetence, I feel. But anyway, yeah, that's all she wrote there. That's all. I mean, yeah, not even his opinion is original. That's a very good observation there. Like, it's all just regurgitated. And look at all these Lou videos coming in. Oh my God, look at that. Good God. Oh my God. La Cosa Nostra. I mean, this guy, it's just like, there is no, it just keeps getting more ridiculous. And it always has. It always has, but gotten more ridiculous. But I mean, now he's talking about the mafia being involved. What in the fuck? My God. Red box, AMC squeeze can't be stopped. Well, I hate to you know, bring this up, B. Hayes, but doesn't something have to begin in order for it to not be stopped? How does that work? And what is ADD? I want to know what is ADD? There isn't even a stock on the U.S. exchanges that has that ticker. Well, what is ADD? What does that mean? And why does it say AMKC? Oh, that's AMKC. Yeah, ADD is what the apes suffer from. I know that, but why does he have it in his goddamn? Oh, because they're obsessed with it. I guess I don't know. That's weird. That's a grown man who quit his job to live stream AMC. His wife works, support the family. I mean, that's really, man, that conviction. You can't swat that conviction down. Not even with an electric fly swatter or one of those salt guns. Down 100%? Squeeze imminent? What does that mean? Adam Lewis, I haven't seen him pop up lately. Wow. I don't know. I don't know if I should look at the Teddy video. I feel like I might get in trouble. Yeah, fuck it. I got it turned down. Oh.
All right, guys, so here is my update on what's going on with Redbox. It is still a honey hole. This thing is still set to explode and make a lot of people a lot of money that are ultra risk takers. The risk now is becoming all the more high. This is crazy. You're getting to watch. This is like, God, you guys remember back in like the 60s and the 70s when NASA used to put monkeys in the spaceships and the rockets, man, and send them into outer space? And they'd be like, good luck, little monkey. Hope you come back alive, little monkey. You're about to take a trip, dude. And a lot of times the monkeys came back dead. You know what I'm saying? Or they just fucking lost them in space somewhere. There's still a monkey alive somewhere out in fucking space. They gave them enough food to last like 30 years. Anyway, that's what's going on here with Redbox. It's the monkey experiment. It's the fucking monkey experiment, man. If this thing does not squeeze, but you're getting to see like all these new tricks. Oh, yeah. Call options. You can't buy them. No. Retail can't. They shut it down. What is it? A couple brokerage accounts now. Even mine's alerting me like, hey, you can't buy options. When are they just going to take the buy button on buying shares? When are they just going to pull that? Like, what the fuck? Really?
Robinhood didn't restrict it. I mean, there was a message that said that some brokerages did, but I mean, it's like everything is a goddamn rumor, and it spreads like a game of telephone. So by the end of it, yeah, some asshole is out here saying they took away the buy button on the stock. I guarantee it.
Is that next? Holy shit! Now that's retail. Yet you already know the hedgies. Nothing taken away from them. They're on the floor. Call options, full force, full steam ahead. Hedging those synthetics, baby. Hedging those synthetics. Where are they going to get the shares? They're at zero. The cost to borrow now, I'm seeing anything from 800 to over 1,000 average. They're paying so much money, they're losing an absolute fortune. I'm seeing the short interest is still over 100%, 108. I'm seeing the failures to deliver is 1.8 million.
Wait, so the short interest went down? I haven't looked at it lately. Ortex, the shady man, the shady guy. That was a brilliant comment by Still Paints. The Ortex logo is an image of a shady guy. Come on now. How can retail trust that you won't take the buy button away next? Where is it? 12 hours ago. Oh. So Ortex must have fixed their. Well, it's still 4 million. But now it's only 136%. So they must have corrected their float. It still doesn't make sense. But God, Ortex is so shitty. Like they went that whole tirade against that person, I forget what their name, and said they triple checked it and then they changed it. Okay. The float increased, causing the shorts haven't covered. Yeah, according to Ortex, who put out false information before, but you're still trusting that that's accurate. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. Like, you're just not gonna get that data. Ortex doesn't fucking know when shorts cover. I'm convinced. Ortex is a total fraud. They don't know when shorts cover. They don't. It's now 3.25 million. Oh, okay. Great. Anyway.
This thing's a ticking time bomb. A lot of criminal activity, though. So the monkey experiment, everybody tuned into AMC, GME. You got any money on those plays? You should be glued to Redbox because Redbox is the fucking monkey experiment. meaning this shit better go down and it better squeeze to the fucking moon and back, baby. Or AMC will never squeeze. GME.
Well, that's pretty much proof positive right there that it's not going to happen. Because you have all the shoeshine boys who are convinced that they're going to get rich. That they know what's going to happen in the market. I mean, it's... God.
Will never squeeze. We have now squeeze-proof tickers because something's going on. Wall Street is prepared for this shit, and they refuse to cover. Now, why are they refusing to cover with Redbox? Well, the light at the end of the tunnel is if they hold long enough, that shit goes all the way down to like 70 cents. You know what I'm saying? There is a buyout opportunity of $10 million. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. Redbox can get out of the merger deal for $10 million. Am I correct? So that now, I don't know. I don't think we want that either. You know, we want the pressure applied up until D-Day, but we need to apply so much buying pressure that the ticket price goes up to where they bleed even harder.
God.
The cost to borrow, think about it, man. Let's say we drove, okay, so where's the ticker at right now? We're at like $10. Cost to borrow is 800% or almost 1,000%. Some averages are at 1,000%. So even if we took the ticker and we were able to drive it up and keep it at $20, cost to borrow would go up to about 1,300% on the low. The low cost to borrow would be at 1,300%. The average cost to borrow would probably be 1,500% if we could get them there and hold them there. Think of the amount of money because they're so far detached now from their plays. Can they still short? How are they still shorting? This is what I'd like to know. When you're at 100% utilization, there are no shares available.
There are shares available, though. Yeah, calm down. Calm down and listen, which I don't think this guy's capable of doing. None of these guys are. Short sellers sell their shares to somebody, like an ape, and then they go into, you know, a Webull account where they lend out your shares if you're in a margin account. They don't know that that share was shorted before. Nobody does. So it gets lent out again. We know this. That's how GameStop went over 100%. I mean, come on. That was a year and a half ago. You're saying you don't know, or you haven't taken the time to look into it? All you have to do is look it up. How can short interest exceed 100% of the float? And you can learn about it. Like, lazy. Fucking lazy. But hey, you got this beautiful cabinet back here. This beautiful antique French cabinet. What a joke.
This is it. This is it, man. It's like they can't hide a lot of it now. So now you're seeing like, wow, really? Should pull the fucking buy button right in front of us and hold it down? Oh my God, you know? Because the play is so stretched out. It's so in your face. You don't have to put nothing under a magnifying glass. It's all on the books. They didn't hide nothing. They didn't hide shit. Right. They were just like, fuck it. The SEC don't care. Just do it. Yeah, fucking Redbox, take them to zero, baby. We own them. Well, caught with their pants down again, but...
Yep, the apes were.
Here's the sad...
Canceled. You're canceled, Teddy. You're canceled. Sorry. Fat Man. Here's Fat Man.
What's up, you two? What's up? What's up on a Friday night?
Here we go.
The market was crazy. You should have gotten in and got out.
Yep.
Get the money and get out. Let me say one thing. This is not finance advice. This for entertainment purpose only. I'm going to give a big shout out to the stock market boy. What's up, stock market boy? I hope you make that $1 million. Because I'm going to make that second $1 million. What's up, the stock market boy? What's up? And shout out go to you. Let's talk about AMC. We know AMC not going nowhere. It's going to the ground. I've been saying since last year. And it's a pump and dump. And that red box is a pump and dump too. I want to touch that shit for nothing. Don't lose your money. Don't lose your money. The market is crazy. You got to get in, you got to get out. That's the key. Get in and get out. Grab your bag when you make that money. You play it going up and you play it going down. You still don't make money. And buy a good company for the future. AMC, Redbox, They are pumping dumps. I got you say it. They are pumping dumps. They say, fat man, fat man. Fat man say they are pumping dump stocks. They
Fat
garbage.
Man. I love it.
And y'all know what's going on with the CEO. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't really have much to say tonight. Only thing I say, get in and get out. The early bird catch the worm. You make a profit, get out. Yeah. I love this game. I love the stock market game. It's a hustle. Yeah. It's just like the stock market, just like the flea market. It's just like the flea market. You make your money and you get out. AMC, not going nowhere. Pump and dump. Don't listen to the YouTubers. Only thing they want is your money. They don't care less if you make money or you don't. I want you to make some money. I want you to make that money. Yep. I pray that you make $1 million. $1 million. AMC not going to the moon. Red box not going to the moon. Y'all have a good night. A good weekend. Enjoy your life.
Amen.
And Monday, we get back in the market.
Tuesday.
I'm ready. I got some plays I'm on. Am I getting in? Am I getting out? I got options on it.
Monday.
Am I getting in? Am I getting out?
Monday at 2.
Y'all be blessed tonight.
Next week at 2 p.m.
And the big shout out to my man, the stock market boy. I pray you make $1 million and more, brother. God bless you and your family. And I thank all my subscribers to the channel. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Here's a man
I hope
who
you make a lot of money.
I've never, you know.
But get in and get out and buy those companies cheap. 3 or 4 years from now, you're going to have a lot of damn money. Because money follow you. Do your homework. Get good companies. Don't listen to that hype shit. People be hyping this shit up. You know? Pump and dump. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that pump and dump shit. AMC going to be doing the same shit next year. The same old shit. Yeah. You can't beat those gangsters. And Wall Street is gangsters. You can't beat them. Do what they do.
Bingo.
Y'all have a blessed night.
Bingo.
Peace.
It's not that hard to see. You know, fat man. Wow, awesome. I've been wanting him to put out a video. Okay, so let's see here. We got so this is a response to Tanko Native.
So
Hold on here. So yeah, Al and Lou will never debate anyone that has opposing view in real time. Al won't even allow comments on his damn videos. But did you see it was his birthday today? Supposedly. It's Al's birthday. And he wants you to make a donation to the Wounded Warrior Project. It's so altruistic of him. It's so selfless. Grifter. Grifter. All right.
What's up, you guys? Mem here. I just watched a fantastic video. We're gonna go over it again by Tanko Native. This guy pretty much says everything I'm thinking, man. I was gonna make my own video, but I don't really need to. I could just respond to this. He talks about Frankie Muhammad and all of these other fucktards, and yes, I'm gonna call them fucktards because they don't fucking learn their lesson. They won't shut the fuck up about this 100K narrative, or retards like Al from Boston thinks it's gonna go to 1 million. Fucking idiot. Anyway, yeah, the whole, I'll get into the whole suing thing. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I just, you know, technically everyone has a right, you know, it's your First Amendment right to say whatever you want, but that doesn't make it right, you know?
Well, I mean, not on YouTube, not on a private platform. You know, they can, it's not really censorship, but they can moderate the content that they want. Free speech really has nothing to do with it, but most people kind of get that wrong. But anyway.
That doesn't make things right to spin this narrative and to mess with
this part of
retail investors' heads.
He's right.
Confusing them,
100%.
Giving them, as John Wick Snipin would say, hopium. Yeah,
see, John Wick Snipin says hope. We talked about hopium last year. We talked about hopium last year on this damn channel. Lynn knows.
Let's get into the video, because this is a really good video. If you haven't seen it yet, please watch Tanko Native's video, and you know, subscribe to the guy too. He definitely deserves subscribers, you know. I mean, I hardly ever fucking talk about, you know, positive stuff anymore about AMC YouTubers, but he's one of them, and you should subscribe and watch his shit. So anyway, let's watch the video and then I'll respond.
So
let's do a little
check this out, people. I just finished watching Frankie Muhammad. I not only watch him, I watch everyone on YouTube, whether I agree with them or not. I have to say one of the people I respect, because I believe he has true conviction, is Frankie Muhammad. But one thing I do have to disagree with him is this. If you want to hold to the moon, Frankie, by all means do, bro. Just remember, there's nobody on the moon. Also,
oh,
if
that's
anybody
good.
wants to sell at $200 a share,
that's good.
Why would you call them a shill or a FUD? If somebody wants to sell at $100 a share,
another good point.
Why is that a problem for you? Serious. If I sell my shares at $1 million and I leave AMC $1 million.
All right, sorry, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Yeah. So, like what he said, I got no personal beef with Frankie. I mean, I used to like the guy, but then I caught on to his shtick, and I might get hate for this. I don't really fucking care. I think his DD is fucking lazy, to be honest with you. All he does is watch other YouTubers and I mean, technically I'm doing that now, but I'm doing a reply video. There's a difference. I'm giving my own commentary, my own thought about someone else's video. Fucking
Sounds like this
Frankie,
guy's coming into
all he
his
does is play the video, points it in front of his camera, it doesn't fucking say anything. Like, and the guy gets a shit ton of views and subscribers. It's frustrating. It's fucking annoying.
Yep.
Where I bust my ass making videos and I don't get shit, but whatever. You know, that's my own personal thought about Frankie Muhammad. He's lazy. He doesn't do most of his own DD, most of the work, and he still gets a shit ton of, you know, views and subscribers. It's fucking ridiculous.
And then he has the nerve to tell people, you know, don't use my videos don't use me as a footstool to grow your channel. If you need to have a YouTube channel, figure it out. What a dick. Seriously, what a dick. I'll be way more harsh than either of these guys are being. He's a dick. But Tenko has a really, he's good with words. He has a very, soft-spoken manner, and he started out by like complimenting him and saying that if there's anybody that I, believe has conviction, I mean that's a good like rhetorical device. That's a good way to, present an argument. Good stuff.
But yeah, I mean, if he wants to hold to 100K or beyond, by all means. But he's pushing this narrative that we should all follow in his footsteps. You doing that just makes me think that you want us to hold the bag. And Tango Native's going to get into the whole, like, guilt tripping shit. And that's honestly how I feel too. I feel like you're guilt tripping for us to hold the bag, and you shouldn't be provoking, teasing, making fun of people who want to sell early. That's their own fucking money. They can do whatever the fuck they want. If they want to sell early, don't make them feel bad about it. Fuck you. Seriously. If they want to sell at a price, whether it's $100 or $200, which, I wouldn't blame you. If you had a couple thousand shares, that's a couple $100,000 right there. That's life-changing money. That would be life-changing money for me.
Super meta.
I know, I'm fucking pissed, man.
It's a super meta moment here. Yeah.
To all these YouTube assholes who said, hold to the moon, hold to the moon. We never broke over $100 fucking dollars, and it's almost 2 years. Seriously. And how stupid are all these apes to think that, it's going to happen, to the moon, the squeeze is coming, when the DD's been done, the T has been done, and nothing's changing. Like I said in the previous video, in the fucking Disney World, in the fucking fantasy land, yes, we would squeeze. We would probably get to 1,000, 10,000, I don't know about 100,000. I think the economy would fucking be destroyed. You can't give millions of people billions of dollars, that's just stupid. That's just idiotic and stupid. Anyway, this is gonna be a long video because I feel ranty today and I'm fucking mad. I'm mad almost every day at these AMC fucktards. Not you, Tanko Native.
$1 million richer. That's not good enough for you? That I sold my shares at $200.
By the way, Lord X Nemesis is a subscriber of mine. I just confirmed. So I will throw the favor back. I thought that the name looked familiar. Just confirmed it. So, cheers.
Per share, and left a millionaire. Money I've never seen before. You have to be the one to walk back into the bank after the group has broken into the vault. Everybody has a bag. Everybody knows the routine. Fill your bag and leave. The problem is that everybody wants to go back for seconds.
Yeah,
they forgot the drill.
Greedy.
The drill is fill your bag and get the fuck out. But greedy people who want to hold to the moon when nobody's ever been to the moon, and history shows that anyone who's ever been to the moon has dropped really hard. Okay?
I learned that the hard way.
So, Frankie, no disrespect to you, bro, but if you want to hold to the moon, you go ahead. But you cannot go on YouTube and say you're not a financial advisor and then call people shills because they want to sell at $200 a share.
That's another thing. And not just with Frankie. What is this whole disclaimer over and over again? Ape Father does this too. It doesn't matter. The disclaimer you say, oh, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. The content that you're still putting out, I'm pretty sure you would still be held accountable. If you lost someone a shit ton of money and they took you to court, do you honestly think just because you said you spent 5 seconds on camera saying, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. Do you think that's going to hold up in court? I don't. If there's evidence that you have if you have manipulated someone or steer them in the wrong direction or, you know, basically lost them money, I still think you'd be held accountable despite you just saying those few couple of words. It's just, and Frankie does it every fucking video. In fact, he says it multiple times up to the point where it's fucking annoying. It's fucking obnoxious, where he says it like 20 fucking times in his fucking video. It's irritating, dude. Shut the fuck up. Just because you say that in the disclaimer with your voice doesn't mean you can't be held accountable if you make someone lose a shit ton of money. It's just so dumb.
When they bought in at $5. If you have 1,000 shares of AMC and AMC goes up to $200, that's not enough for you? It's not enough. This is why you ain't got shit now.
I want to settle for half.
This is why the apes ain't got shit now. Because their common sense is this. If a stock hits and I become a millionaire, I'm not going to sell. That's the motto of the apes and the mooners. If AMC reaches the moon, I'm not going to sell. Because I don't need the money. I just need hedge funds to lose theirs. Listen, people.
Pause right here. In the beginning, when I was a naive, humble ape, I was all about the community, and I was all about tearing Wall Street a new asshole, these hedge funds, these banks and stuff like that. And, you know, to me, I do want them to suffer. They should pay for their crimes, but let's face it, man, they got so much, I'm not trying to spread FUD, but they got so much tricks up their sleeves. You can't beat a supercomputer, man. They have these algorithms. We need heavy support, like anonymous or hackers or some shit. We need like celebrities, movie stars, big whales full of money we need to all get together, band up against these guys, because it's a David versus Goliath situation.
Well,
in my opinion.
I mean, that still won't work. I mean, you gotta make the switch in your mind. You know, it's not an us versus them. It can't be that. It will never. That will never be the play. It will never work. So, you know, there's a phrase. Follow the smart money. That's what it is. You know, big man said that too. Essentially, they're gangsters. You can't beat them, so you have to do what they're doing. That's the way it is. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, and it's kind of like a lot of things in life. I think, you know, resisting things, you know, doesn't always work out. A lot of times it doesn't work out. So you have to find a way to allow something rather than resist. So you're going to have to allow something else instead of resisting the thing that you're fighting against, quote unquote fighting against. Anyway, it's life philosophy, but you know, it's no different here in my view, and in the view of people who are successful and profitable in the market.
And I still believe that. And what I'm getting at is I don't think this play, AMC, if it squeezes, is going to hurt the hedge funds very much. It's not going to cause Kenny G to lose. He's not going to jump out a window. He's not going to lose everything that he owns. I don't believe that. I believe Citadel will still exist. The banks will still exist. All the other major hedge funds will still exist. And by you holding to stick it to the man, to stick it to corporate, to stick it to Kenny G and all this stuff, you're only hurting yourself. Like Tanko Native said, fill up your bag, get the fuck out. In the end, you're only going to be hurting yourself if you keep holding to these ridiculous prices. And I still believe, I believe at least at this point, if we squeeze, and I mean, this is, and at this point, I'm just like, maybe, like, I'm like, maybe 30% sure it'll get to $1,000 at least. If I see $1,000, I'm probably selling 90% of my position in AMC, to be honest with you, at this point. Because that's enough money for me for life-changing wealth. That's enough money for life-changing wealth for me and my family, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's get back into it.
Fuck what Frankie Muhammad says. Fuck what Al from Boston says. Fuck what Lou versus Wall Street says. Fuck what I say. Get your money, because these people on YouTube who are telling you that $200 a share is not enough for you, $300 a share is not enough for you when you bought the stock at $7 or $8, and even if you bought it at $50, $100 a share, $300 a share is not enough for you, there's a problem. There's a problem. And I have a problem with YouTubers who want to make people feel that if they don't hold to the moon, they have no conviction. I don't hold to the moon, and I don't need conviction. You know what I need? A car.
I just want to get into what he said about fuck what all those guys say. I pretty much agree with that. All of those people are on my shit list. Well, he said fuck whatever he says. Tango Native, you've left comments on my previous videos before, and you've done response videos, and I trust most you have to say. There's a couple things I don't agree with, and in my opinion, I wasn't too sure which side you were on originally. Sometimes you kind of flip-flop, but regardless, I trust what you have to say more than Al or Lou, or at this point Frankie Muhammad.
Well,
especially Al from Boston. Lou, I still watch him from time to time. He's still entertaining to me, but again, that guy, I don't want to get into it, but he's made so many predictions that never fucking happened, and yeah, I'm not Team Lou anymore. Used to be, not anymore.
That's good.
But Al from Boston really makes me mad. Al from Boston, he just creates these fucking ridiculous videos of these.
All right, so I want to listen to him talk about Al from Boston, and then I want to move on because this is long. I can't watch this whole thing. I mean, but this is. I would like to think this represents a turning point in, this information filtering out there and other people being exposed to it. It's crazy that it's taken this long. Maybe it hasn't even, maybe it's not a turning point. It's all the same to us. We've been doing this for a better part of a year. But anyway, it's good to hear other people talk about how ridiculous this Al from Boston character is. I mean, I would go so far as to say he's dangerous. I believe that he actually is dangerous. We'll see what Lord Nemesis says.
It's propaganda, ridiculous shit.
Yep.
I watched a video yesterday, a video he made about the Aron, the AMC shareholder meeting. And he's praising Aron. We got to thank Aron. He's doing such a good job. We should be praising. We should be getting on his knees, sucking his dick right now, feeling his balls. Okay, he didn't say that last part. But you know what I mean. He's just like praising this fucking dude who's hasn't really done anything to fucking help us. And he still...
Hi, Antoinette. Welcome.
Believes it's all about fundamentals. He's going on and on. It's all about fundamentals. We need to tell everyone in our family to go to AMC, buy tickets for AMC, all this, buy shit for AMC. When it doesn't fucking matter, just short squeeze play, and it really doesn't matter because it's all fucking manipulated. It doesn't matter how much money AMC makes. Look, how many fucking times has there been blockbusters? Maverick was what, the highest grossing movie of all time, Memorial Day, in the history of movies or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know the entire history of all movies, how much money they've made. I know like Avatar made a shit ton of money, Titanic, Maverick, Marvel movies. But look, it's over and over and over this past year. How much money does the box office need to make where it matters for AMC?
Well, zero, none. I mean, that's not what it is, because stock prices are, the current stock price is the present value of all future cash flows. Or in other words, it is a future price of the company discounted back to today, or whenever you're looking at the price. So, when you look at it that way, there is no direct correlation between what's happening today in the company, right? It's revenue and profit margin and whatnot, sales, expenses, debt. There's no direct correlation between that and the stock price, because the stock market prices for the future discounted back to the present time. To quote Short the VIX, the present time. That's the quote, present time. So, in Apes, by and large, they think that what happens in the day-to-day operations of the business determines the stock price. And that's not really how it works. Now, if you have stocks that are extremely popular with retail investors and they come in and buy, buy hundreds of millions of shares in one day, that's going to push the price of the stock up. So you'll see some of that effect, but ultimately it's kind of a temporary, that's the voting machine aspect of the market. Whereas in the long term, it's a weighing machine. It's going to weigh how much money they make in the long term. But, in the short term, it can act as a popularity meter, a voting machine. But that's the efficiency of the market, because if that happens, the market is pretty quick to correct those. That would be an inefficiency. That would be an inefficiency in the stock price. It doesn't belong at 72. How do we know that? Because the market brought it back down. And that's the efficiency of the market, attempting to return or place the valuation of a company where the market ultimately puts it. So, but they're not thinking about, this movie came out, so they're worth a little bit more today. It doesn't really work like that. Okay.
And Al from Boston and all these other fucking YouTubers, they keep using these as fake catalysts. They think it's gonna fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. Well, the only thing I can say is matter if AMC is completely out of debt. But even then, I still don't believe, because it's all controlled by supercomputer. Just like the common sense investor. He's shown you. I know he's taken his DD from somebody else. Can't remember the guy's name. He's always mentioning him, but I don't watch his stuff. But I watch Common Sense Investor, and he's showing you the algorithm. He's showing you it's manipulated.
Now,
you can't beat a supercomputer.
Nobody's shown anybody the algorithm. They like to talk about that and say, "Oh yeah, I've showed you the algorithm." A chart is not an algorithm. A price chart is not an algorithm, not even close. Because what you're seeing is you're seeing the aggregate price. You're seeing the final result at whatever period it is, day or hour or minute. You're seeing the summation of buying and selling that brought the price to where it was at. There are algorithms that are submitting orders underneath that, but looking at the final result, because that includes retail investors' orders, this institution's orders, this other institution's orders, et cetera, et cetera. So you cannot see an algorithm. You'll never see an algorithm from a price chart. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know if people really understand what an algorithm really is. But you're not going to see it on a chart. I've seen Common Sense Investor talk about this. I've seen Rico talk about this. I've seen Trading with Emotions talk about this. And he's a nice guy, not personal. But you're not looking at an algorithm. You're looking at the aggregate price from the buying and selling that happened in those periods. So we need to get that. We need to get that misconception corrected in the community. I think.
You need to fucking go into Citadel, find these supercomputers, and fucking cut off the power, cut off the internet, destroy them. Fundamentals don't matter with supercomputers. They have an algorithm. Doesn't matter what you throw at them. They're going to hold your shares. They're not going to allow you to make a difference. Anyway.
I don't need conviction. You know what I need? To pay my bills. I don't need conviction. I need to feed myself and my kids. You YouTubers are getting paid just for selling this bullshit. How many subscribers you got, Frankie? As many as Al versus Wall Street, as many as Lou?
3,000 subscribers.
Because out of all the YouTubers that I watch, and I watch a lot of them, the only one that says that if you sell at anything less, whether it's $100, $200, $300, $400, that you're a shill, that you have no conviction. It's like you're trying to make people feel guilty into holding.
Exactly.
And I don't get that, because usually someone who tries
I'm gonna
to...
say something too right now. Frankie, you got other people, not just myself. You need to make a response video, bro. Defend yourself. Don't be a fucking pussy. Don't be a fucking coward and not say anything. I've left numerous comments on Frankie Mohammed. He's such a fucking pussy, dude. He won't ever respond to my shit. He won't ever make a response video talking about it or whatever. He only goes on other people who sprout nonsense. Like he was on, I can't remember what it was, but he's just like, good video, good video, good video when they talk about...
Okay, so he responded to me one time, a comment that I had left on his video. And he said, basically, that that I should not comment on his videos anymore. That he would never respond to me ever again. This was the one response that he was going to afford me, and you know, essentially that I'm wrong and that, you know, whatever. He blocked Model 3 dude's comments. Yeah, I mean, that's what I understand about Froggy Styles. That, you know, is basically, you know, vanilla MOASS propaganda, essentially. I didn't get the like strong sense that he was intentionally misleading people. So, you know, he might be genuine in what he's saying and he believes it. And I think he probably is curious to some degree, but he's probably just not there yet. He's just not there yet. And we're all, you know, we're all trying to get there anyway, so. I watched some of his streams and videos that he put out, I don't know, a few weeks back about that CS Trades guy, all that drama where I guess, I don't know, there was some drama between them and then they claimed that this guy Cam CS Trades, Wolfpack, Alpha Wolf, like was circulating a video chat client that was compromised, that was it had some kind of rootkit worm in it or something, I don't know, or a version of it that did. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't. I just noted that and moved on. I'm not gonna verify. That's one thing I'm not gonna fact check. Right, WebEx. That's it. Yeah. I wasn't gonna fact check that. Although, if you know, I probably would. I'd run it in the virtual machine or something. But anyway, but that's the last time I've paid attention to that channel. Why are you asking, Supertramp? Just curious, or I really haven't talked about them. Okay, so yeah, that's, I mean, and Tenko's got really good, you know, rhetorical devices. I don't need to go to the moon. I need a car. I don't need to go to the moon. I need to pay my bills. I don't need to go to the moon. I need to feed myself and my kids. I mean, that's great, you know, oratory, essentially. So that's good. Very good. Now, I guarantee that the next thing that we look at here will not be as good. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Former City VP explains GameStop AMC squeeze. Crypto Celsius meltdown. Meme stocks. From Boss Blunts. We can check out a little bit of it. I'm just going to drop in somewhere.
Our life, 28% gains.
Yeah, Grift Roulette. Wait, is there no interview? I thought there was an interview.
Heavily shorted stock, Clovis Oncology, 21% gains.
Charles has a storied history on Wall Street going back to Drexel Burnham in the 80s. I'll let him tell you a bit about his history.
Oh, this guy.
With hedge funds like LTCM, and then he can weigh in on what he saw happening the last couple of weeks. Charles?
Well, I think the write-up on my, hello everybody, I think the write-up on my background covers Drexel Burnham and long-term capital. I'll weave in long-term capital on some points I'd like to make. This historic event is historic in one dimension, and that is the retail side of the fence played a major role in moving the market. I'd like to talk about three areas: the efficiency of the markets, risk management, and clearing and settlement. All three are involved in the GME debacle. I'm using GME as just a generic term for the whole situation. With respect to efficient markets, they always correct excessive behavior. And I think with the GME situation, we saw that the hedge funds were muscling retail holders of GME and AMC and the other stocks into submission. And they got a little greedy. And this usually precedes a major correction in the situation. And Reddit and Robinhood day traders saw an opportunity for the short squeeze. But let's be clear, the short squeeze was executed by the retail side, but it was created by the institutional side. The hedge funds created their own debacle. And that's a great segue into the concept of risk management. And in my mind, it's something I learned at Drexel Burnham. It's the most important aspect of money management. Picking stocks is a difficult game, but risk management is the most difficult, the most important. And greed usually trumps risk management. And we're getting back to the concept of how does a hedge fund get into a situation where they have to run to mommy and daddy for $3 billion to bail them out?
Pantheon.
Long-term capital, same situation.
Pantheon.
And at the essence of their issues, I mean, they had structural issues in their portfolio. We can talk about the Russian default in 1998, which led to the debacle with long-term capital. We can talk about other things with respect to the hedge funds shorting GME. But the bottom line is greed. They overshorted. They shorted so much of the stock that it didn't take too much of mediocre mathematics to figure out how to conduct a short squeeze. And black swan events usually precede a liquidity crisis. And this whole GME thing is really a liquidity crunch. We can talk about how many shares were sold short of the whole entire float, which is evidence of the greed. You don't, I mean, I would never have a guy trading for me at Drexel Burnham wanting to short 100% of the float.
Hell yeah.
And it's just, I find it just
Okay.
amazing. It's greed, it's avarice, it's hubris.
Look at these fucking lemmings over here. How fucking rich are we gonna be? Oh my god. Hello, my fellow millionaires. You don't have to wait until MOASS. You can say it now. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. Yeah, it seems he's like a doomer though. He's a doom and gloomer though. He's all about the market crash, at least from what I remember, and that being a catalyst for AMC to squeeze. But you know, I feel like the macroeconomic take is really to set up the notion of, well, why else would you talk about it, like, right? Like, because they've been saying this for a long time. They've been saying this for a long time that, and some of them still do, that AMC and GameStop are the best hedges in the market against a market crash. I mean, Jesus, how is that? How's that now? Well, anyway, is this too long? Well, I mean, the thing is though, there is no limit to how many shares can be shorted. Plus, I mean, I don't see how that's relevant because 37% of the float is shorted. I mean, you ignore this utilization, and really this is taking this with a grain of salt anyway. We don't know. Only thing you know is the exchange reported data. That's the only thing that matters, really. Because this shit is, I mean, so you saw with Red Fox, you know, that these numbers, they just change these numbers based on tweet pressure they're getting on Twitter, which is stupid. But, you know, here you go, 109 million. That was what the last reported was at the end of May. And they're saying 117 million. Okay, whatever. But, you know, these shares that are currently sold short, they can be shorted again. They can be shorted again and again and again. But, I mean, you're talking about over 100 million shares, or I'm sorry, you're talking about over 100% of the float. I mean, and you have to get through all 500 million first. But really it comes down to shares being made available to lend. And that's either institutions or retail investors holding in margin accounts. There's no limit. And I don't know why now they would be saying there's no shares left to short, because as the Ortex guy points out, utilization has been at 100% for 91 days. So on the 91st day, or, you know, whatever, the 87th day, whatever, that somehow matters. I do not see how that is credible. But, you know, obviously could be wrong. God, 2,000 people. Yeah, he misrepresents everything. He shows only bits and pieces. He cherry picks, absolutely, he does. Yeah. And also, I mean, who was it that did a video about... Somebody did a video recently. Oh, Charlie. He did a video talking about how Boss Blunt's completely butchered, no pun intended, the executive order thing. Like, he got it, I mean, yeah, obviously it was wrong. It's not a fucking catalyst. We know that. But he was misrepresenting it. He wasn't even, he was misrepresenting it, and we've talked about that. We've touched on that. Also, China Evergrande, that was another failed Boss Blunt's catalyst. No, I mean, I'm sure he's a cool guy. I probably smoke I probably smoke a blunt with him. But as far as this shit goes, he's kind of an idiot. Charles Payne says AMC to $1,000. Right. I'm sure he probably didn't even do that. Ray Dalio doubles down on AMC stock. Now, Finance News, that's a channel that I just stopped bothering with them. I don't even bother anymore. Don't even bother. There's no point. Adam Aron talking in code. 22 minutes of this nonsense speculation. I mean, what somebody said, I think it was Manny earlier, AMC, Adam Aron, he gives messages in Morse code now. You know, in Morse code. Shorts will soon be forced to buy AMC. Oh my God. Tom Jim. Not that long. Forced share recall coming for AMC stock. I mean, that's Finance News, but the only person that can recall a stock, that can recall a share, is the person who's lending it out. In other words, the person that owns it. If it's being lent, the person from whose bank account it comes, brokerage account. That's it. Adam Aron cannot recall shares. AMC cannot forcibly recall shares that are shorted. That is not a thing. And I love how they use the interview, you know, where he's sitting there and it looks like a dollhouse. You know, somebody said, yeah, I mean, the point, my you know, really it's been to get people to think and look stuff up on their own. You know, I'm sure I don't get everything right. I make a good faith effort to do so, and I'm usually not putting things out that I'm not confident are correct. But at the end of the day, everyone, yeah, should be fact checked. The problem is, if they can't fact check this nonsense, in other words, if they can't get to the conclusion that AMC cannot forcibly recall the shares, like I had to look that up last year. I looked it up, and I went on a deep dive into share recall, and you know, I found out what the deal is with it. They can't do that, and this has been a falsehood that's been promulgated for the last year. You know, how in the hell, you know, I mean, it's easier stuff than that, even like short volume versus short interest. I mean, I could bang my head against the wall on that one because I still see people. I mean, of course, 60% was shorted today. No, it wasn't. I mean, maybe technically, if you look at how they were marked, but there's a reason for that. That it has nothing to do with short positions. So when you get to stuff like reverse repo and reserve rates and all that stuff, yeah, he has no clue. He has no clue. And that's, you know, incidentally, that's why I don't talk about a lot of those things. I don't talk about bonds. I don't know that much about the bond market. To say, to put out information about it and make claims and whatnot. I might say, well, I was listening to Tom Sosnoff, and he was saying this about whatever. Might say something like that, but I'm not going to say anything specific, I'm not going to make any assertions about something that I don't know about. Let's see. Yeah, I like Tom too. I mean, you know, I feel like I feel like I don't know. I feel like I am getting an insight into the business that I wouldn't get when I listen otherwise. What I wouldn't get otherwise when I listen to Tom talk about, you know, things. So I think it's he's a great resource. And you know, the other thing about Tom is, I've never done this because I'm not really, well, I used to have a Tastyworks account, but I don't use it. I don't even know if the account's still active, but he answers customer emails. Like, you can email him and he'll respond to you. And that's pretty cool. You know, not a lot of people will do that when they get to that point. But like, Ken Griffin probably wouldn't do that. I mean, I can't, to be fair though, I haven't tried to email Ken Griffin, but yeah. So Tom Sosnoff, one of the founders of Thinkorswim, before Thinkorswim was part of TD Ameritrade. It was a separate brokerage. It was a small brokerage, and then it was bought by TD Ameritrade, I think in the early 2000s, 2006 or something. And then went on to start Tasty Trade, which has basically a TV channel and a brokerage firm, Tastyworks platform. And he's a former floor trader in Chicago. So he, just got a lot of experience. AMC on its final days. Oh, they're getting a million miles out of hedge fund liquidated, and it's that crypto hedge fund. What the fuck does that have to do with AMC stock? What the fuck does a hedge fund, a crypto hedge fund, have to do with AMC stock? Seriously. Ah, Jesus. AMC CEO, this put our shareholders in a good mood. What? Would you give them a rub and tug? What the fuck?
Okay, it's going to be a while.
Yeah, right. I would not make it in the grift game. And that's why I said, whenever anybody gives me shit about this, it's like, well, I'm not in this for the money, clearly, because if I were, I wouldn't be saying, I wouldn't, I would just be doing what all these fucking grifters are doing. I would do this because these guys are making money, not me. I can't even hold 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I don't know what it is right now. Not that it matters, and I don't care. But, just as a matter of fact, it hit 1,000 and it comes down. It's like, 988. It's been that for most of the day. And that's fine. But, I mean, who are these 12 people that unsubscribed? I'm curious. And why? Like, what did you think this was? Like, what? Seriously. And I've had the chat open for anybody can chat. Although it's funny, there hasn't been any new people or anything in the chat. I don't know why. I mean, you all are not I better not say that. And I mean, it's kind of a tough crowd, I guess, but maybe it is the 12 people that leave when I talk politics. Well, so be it, I don't care. I talk religion and politics if I need to, if I want to. Chat's still at 42 hours. No, it shouldn't be. It should not be. It's not supposed to be 42 hours. I know I changed that. Shit. Okay. There you go. Now it now it shouldn't. Now it should be. It didn't say that before. There we go. Fuck. I know I changed it. I don't know why I didn't save it, but I'll blame the YouTube. Yeah. Now everybody can flood into the chat. I mean, you know, and the reality is, there's a lot of right-wing people in this. You know, I'll talk politics, but you have to be evidence-based. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, okay. I see. Yeah, I see Lynn. Lynn proved it that it was on, and I saw it that it was on because I went and changed it. So, but I mean, you know, you have to be evidence-based. What is this? Oh, Al. God damn it. Is everybody going to leave if this is the last video? I don't know. I mean, I really hate to do this, but managed event. Wow. It's another Lou. It's another Lou grift. Like, and why are your comments? Why are the comments off? I mean, on one hand, I'm like, you know, I don't want to put myself or anybody else through this, but on the other hand, like, this stuff is so bad, it's dangerous. You know, and I'm not trying to be like dramatic, but he literally said the other day that the AMC and the derivatives market was a national security threat. A national security threat. And he just claimed in a previous video today that the mafia was involved. At least it was in the title. Could be total clickbait. This guy has no shame. No fucking shame. I don't think he's even in this country. It doesn't matter. And I have nothing against other countries. But something is up here. Something is definitely up here. Otherwise, why would you have your comments off? Why would you put out all this nonsense and say that it's a national security threat? Oh, and by the way, go and comment on other people's videos. You know, and try to gaslight people in other videos, comments. It's absurd. Okay. I apologize in advance.
Hey, Al from Boston. Let's kick it off. This is Al's War Room. And today we're going to talk about how will the squeeze go down. All right.
God.
We're going to go through scenarios, things that could happen, potentially happen, ideas that we have crossed and thought about, and
all the same
go over
too.
and reiterate. It's going to be
all the same.
Not too long, but just enough to get your, you know.
Yeah. What about you know, what about the GameStop share dividend? Remember, he went through that whole timeline, a calendar. Like the amount of time that he spends on these fucking fake catalysts, creating them, almost seems like it is to a professional degree. In other words, who the fuck is paying this guy to put this shit out? I don't know. But I think this, to me, this goes beyond a hobbyist or somebody who's just trying to make a few extra bucks on YouTube. I don't even know if he is monetized, but it's just, you know, like somebody like Short the Vix, he's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's young. He has no clue. I understand that. This guy claims that he just turned 40, so he and I are the same age, essentially, supposedly. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucked up. It is very fucked up. Okay. Shit. Okay.
your thinking going. Let's look at scenario one. Okay, the GameStop split. What has happened so far? Well, the approval process has been codified in policy. We know that. They approved everything. The lawyers are working on the paperwork if they haven't completed it already. And now, the same, and of course, the same thing with AMC and GME, better communication with the shareholders because they don't really talk about it.
Here
Cryptic
it is.
messages from
Stock
Cohen
split,
is not going
right.
to fly. The dates need to be split for the actual split.
So in other words,
we need
there is no stock split as of now. Like all three of these things, what has happened so far, these are all bullshit. 100% bullshit. What needs to happen is there needs to be an actual split that is proposed. Like an A and C are the same thing here. Dates need to be set for the actual split. When does it happen exactly? Any dates. So this is how you stretch basically two things into 6 items. I mean, Lynn's got it. Master, shyster. I mean, this right here, you know, I mean, it once you see it, it's so obvious. But I mean, this is what like a, you know, this is what high school students do to stretch out shit. They repeat themselves. They don't have anything to say.
Need to also know about the ratio. Is it 4 to 1, 10 to 1, 20 to 1? We don't really know any of that stuff, but it has to be before.
And it's not 4 to 1 or 20 to 1. It is 4 for 1, 10 for 1, etc.
So that's something that Ryan Cohen could probably kick around and ask himself how the best to entice people to.
Yeah, it's a small detail, but you know, the devil's in the details. And when, you know, and people give themselves away by talking uninformed about shit.
Become bigger shareholders and purchase more. When does this exactly happen? Any dates? None whatsoever. That's what we know. Nothing. We know very little about it. And so what needs to happen? The stock splits and the GME, you know, and GME needs to set up an initial
bullshit
wherever. And you bought early and you got genuine shares. I couldn't find out if those shares had CUSIP numbers. I would imagine they do. Okay, it's the synthetics that don't have those. The rehypothecated shares. Now, once that share count is done,
well, maybe I shouldn't skip it. God damn it!
That's what's called a CUSIP number. A CUSIP is to entice people to become bigger shareholders, or that's what we. The stock splits, and the GME needs to set up an initial share count. Okay. All the rehypothecated shares have to be counted, as well as the real shares. Now, a real share, an actual genuine share of GME, has what's called a CUSIP number. A CUSIP number is a unique identification number assigned to stocks and registered bonds in the United States and Canada. Now, I don't know if these CUSIP numbers are registered overseas either. So if you're in the UK or Great Britain or Japan or wherever, and you bought early and you got genuine shares, I couldn't find out if those shares had CUSIP numbers. I would imagine they do. Okay, it's the synthetics that don't have those, the rehypothecated shares. Now, once that share count is done, and
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about here. Like, I mean, you're talking about lending a share. Of course, a share has a CUSIP number. That just identifies it as AMC. That's how the DTC and other institutions codify. It's like a UPC code number, right? There's a barcode, but there's also a number. The bars represent the numbers in that code, UPC code. This is a UPC code for stocks. That's all it is. It's not unique to each individual stock. It's unique to the issuer. In other words, AMC. So, you know, and he's talking about synthetic shares. I mean, at least slides that in there. It's the synthetic shares that don't have it. Okay. But you couldn't find anything about it, so whatever.
And we all know why I use the word if, just for liability. If we find the fraud is detected, GME first must make it public. God knows what the media will do with it, what they run with it, but a press conference should be put out there, and all the major Wall Street firms, and the Journal and Business News, and of course Bloomberg all have to know about it. What do? We buy and hold. And wait for the answers. Additionally, there must be a lawsuit filed against every one of those short sellers and a class action with the shareholders. So GME would obviously conduct this on our behalf, on GME holders, and they would sue each and every short.
They must also file a lawsuit against every short seller? Why? What is this crap? GME must move to the DOJ, SEC, FBI to start an investigation into stock fraud? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, what a moron. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is so fucking stupid. We buy and hold and wait for the answers. They must also file a lawsuit against every short seller. Yeah, if any of these institutions, organizations, opened an investigation into stock fraud, you think you'd still be buying and holding and waiting for answers? He's probably sitting in fucking Dubai in an apartment coming up with this shit. I mean, how stupid. File a lawsuit against every short seller? Why? Short selling isn't illegal. What would a lawsuit constitute? Oh my God.
Short seller for not just the amount for shares that they have shorted.
I'm just going to go back. I want to hear the context.
Business News and of course Bloomberg all have to know about it. What do? We buy and hold. And wait for the answers. Additionally, there must be a lawsuit filed against every one of those short sellers and a class action with the shareholders. So GME would obviously conduct this on our behalf, on GME holders, and they would sue each and every short seller for not just the amount for shares that they have shorted.
This is fucking delusional.
The illegal stuff, but we would look for punitive damages, which is additional money that would give us after the squeeze, money that they need to pay us because of
my God.
Any other money.
Now he's saying that they're what? Oh my fucking God. Lord Nemesis said that Al pisses him off. I totally fucking understand that. I do. Because this is so egregious. So egregious. GameStop is going to file a lawsuit on the shareholders' behalf and try to get punitive damages so that you get more money after the squeeze. I mean, that is a fucking line out of the scammers' fucking playbook. That is a line out of fucking scamming 101. Yeah, I'm going to be able to get you more money. I'm going to be able to get you extra money, once we do the deal. Right. God damn it. Law and Order Ape unit. I love it. and yeah, this somebody sitting here telling people that AMC stock can go to $1 million per share, and they want more money after the squeeze. Get fucking real. Get fucking real. Also, Chilo's talking about the guy suing Elon for billions due to Dogecoin losses. That's a total joke. I mean, I know it's real, but that ain't going nowhere. To quote Fat Man, that lawsuit ain't going nowhere. Lawsuit ain't going to the fucking moon. It's going to the fucking ground. Yeah, Ryan Cohen's not going to do shit. He's laughing. And retail saved his $2 company. Right. Frivolous is an understatement, I think. But, yeah. I mean, that, if all of the lawsuits against Robinhood and all that were dismissed for quote unquote removing the buy button, which was totally legal, you know, I mean, Elon Musk isn't a financial advisor. He's as much of a financial advisor as these ape influencers are. So what's next? They're going to sue them? I hope so.
Money that we don't know about that we uncover. If that happens, great, wonderful. But as soon as if that is made public and Citadel sees it, they're going to start covering. Okay, and Jimmy's going to rip, and subsequently AMC.
Citadel, we don't even know that. Just assume that Citadel's shorting AMC or GameStop or whatever. How do you know that? You don't fucking know that. I mean, it would be fantastic to find out. Yeah, Citadel has never shorted AMC or GameStop. That would be just the icing on the cake. That would mean that they've been wrong the whole time about the fundamental thing that they've been bitching about. We demand a squeeze, then we demand to sue you because the squeeze was not big enough, right? Fuck.
What the sequence is, I'm uncertain. But once you make that stuff public, God only knows. I mean, we don't know how that's going to flow out. We really don't. We could try to hypothesize it. You know, we can try to make scenarios up and war game it, but we really don't have any idea how that will go. But we know it will go. All right. The short squeeze can officially start from there. Start seeing rips, and if the SEC's called out very publicly, and I think you know, I think very publicly, being told to the American people, especially, hey, this is happening now. There's proof because we did this and we found this, and you know, I think that would force the SEC into a corner.
I mean, just think about what he's saying. He's saying that we have proof, but he's saying, yeah, well, we can go public and we can say we have this proof. So, in other words, this is all speculation. Like, I guess the unnamed thing here is that this would expose billions of synthetic shares, billions of naked shorts. That's the claim, I guess. It's not on here, but I guess that's what the lawsuit is. So that's an underlying assumption. Imagine that. All these things here. If fraud is detected, that's the only thing. And everything else runs on that assumption. It's ridiculous.
And that's great. That's wonderful. And the DOJ, of course, you know, the DOJ operates independently of the SEC, but because of the fraud issue and all the other conspiracy things, they're going to work out because
conspiracy theories. You mean conspiracy theories that you've created?
You see that these shares exist, and the providers of data were essentially being given bad information. That counts as conspiracy as a charge. And on a federal level, you're talking about countless billions of dollars.
Oh, what, he's a lawyer now.
Tacked onto their fines and punitive damages.
Al
so that's
from fucking
else.
Pakistan, right? Al from Karachi. Al from Kandahar. God damn it. Fuck. I mean, this shit needs to fucking go away. This guy needs to be gone. I mean, this is the most extreme FUD I have ever heard. Ever. In doing this for nearly a year now. 11 months, essentially. On 2 different channels, one of which was deleted. So, if my channel can get deleted, I did what I'm doing now, for sure they can find a reason to get rid of this fucking asshole. I mean, and I've got plenty of them, plenty of reasons.
Scenario 2. Let's talk about scenario 2. The New York Stock Exchange and the market crash. Equities used as collateral to devalue significantly, which forces massive margin calls from multiple positions. I think this would take longer to do. Yes, we did have a rate hike, and that's wonderful. I still think they still have a lot of money in their pocket.
So this is this is the market crash. Market crashes, so they have to cover their shorts. in order to get collateral, to get, they get margin calls, so they get forced to cover their shorts. All right.
And the NASDAQ, the S&P, the New York Stock Exchange falls below a certain level, which shakes investor confidence and causes panic in the market. Now, when something like this happens, this is a global conflagration. This is a global fire sale that happens. Everything starts crashing hard, fast, and they will be liquidated in certain positions, primarily the blue chip stocks, the Amazons.
And Chilo's got an interesting point here. So on the first run up, there seemed to be some desperate shorting action based on price action. But we don't see that really more. We don't see this really more. We don't really see this anymore on AMC. Price just seems more like regular algos, and really it just follows the market in terms of when obviously there's supply dumped on the market in over market wide. AMC pretty much goes with it, and like today, we saw short covering across the market. At the same time, you saw it on AMC and GameStop and on all the stocks. So, yeah, because ultimately there is no retail buying pressure in these stocks anymore. There's none. And the other half of this coin, the other side of it, is that there was desperate shorting action, we're speculating last year. There was also intense buying pressure, like 500, 600, 700 million shares traded in a day, a lot of which was buying. That may put pressure on somebody who's counting on the price going down and dumped a lot of supply on the market to try to influence it, to do that. Now, you could see a scenario there where the price would get to a point where a short position would become too risky, too unprofitable, and it would have to be closed at a loss. That's a short squeeze. This is not a short squeeze. Will never be a short squeeze now, because there's no pressure being applied to the shorts. They are able to cover at a profit. Think about that. They're able to cover shorts at a profit. Yes, they are. So by that token, the possibility of a short squeeze is absolutely, I want to say unequivocally. Nothing's absolute though, but the possibility of a short squeeze is like slim to none. Like, really, there's no reason that all the shorts would cover at once if they're able to cover at a profit. It makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever, and they need to stop talking about it like this. They won't, but, well, okay. Bad Back saying over 1 billion shares were traded at the height. Yeah, there was 1.25 billion traded in January, but not in June. The highest was, I think, 700 something million. The highest was here, right here. I think it was 1.253 billion. But other than that, it was 766 on June 2nd. Busy. I can't see this, but I mean, you can tell that shit. You can tell that most of this up here in these highest regions was buying. When you get up here, you know, majority buying those levels. But anyway, talking about underwater shorts. No underwater shorts. Oh, Tanko Native. My pleasure, my friend. Come back and, you know, we'd love to have you on the stream as well. If you'd be interested in that sometime, love to have a conversation with you on here. So, you know, consider that, and hopefully we'll talk soon. No underwater shorts. They're still open at $2. Yeah, and that's another thing too. That's another thing too. And they said this last year, last fall, when I was making a lot of videos, that like, for example, in October, September, October here, the narrative was that they could have closed at $5. They could have closed at $10. Really, you think that it was shorted down here, not even there. You think it was shorted somewhere down here, and it was held through all this to here? I mean, that's just a misunderstanding. You don't understand how the shit works. You know. Have a good night, Tanko. What did Antoinette say? When market crashes, AMC goes to 1,000. Now that is trolling. That is trolling. But you forgot 7 more zeros. So anyway, yeah, Al, this is
Google's, the Apples, to recoup. Now, we had some laws that were set in place that if something like this happened, AMC, GME short squeezes, or some kind of catastrophic market event, the Securities and Exchange Commission could put these high blue chip stocks into like a little holding facility for them. And since that is no longer going to be in play, these blue chip stocks are going to get devalued, and they're going to be in their custody, the actual funds. Now,
what is he talking about?
Cataclysmic event that happens when you start seeing people lose value on Amazon.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Is he talking about the Fed put, maybe? No, that's not what he's talking about. That's not in effect I mean, I'm going to have to go back and listen to that again, because and that's no guarantee.
Some kind of catastrophic market. This is a global conflagration. This is a global fire. I think they still have a lot of money in their pocket. The NASDAQ, the S&P, the New York Stock Exchange falls below a certain level, which shakes investor confidence and causes panic in the market. Now, when something like this happens, this is a global conflagration. This is a global fire sale that happens. Everything starts crashing hard, fast. And they will be liquidated in certain positions, primarily the blue chip stocks, the Amazons, the Googles, the Apples, to recoup. Now, we had some laws that were set in place that if something like this happened, AMC, GME short squeezes, or some kind of catastrophic market event, the Securities and Exchange Commission could put these high blue chip stocks into like a little holding facility for them. And since that is no longer going to be in play, these blue chip stocks are going to get devalued.
What is he talking about? Why is it not in play? That's vague, speculative, as far as I'm concerned. It's not even up here. It's not even on this list here. I have no idea. Anybody know what the fuck he's talking about?
And they're going to be in their custody, the actual funds. Now, there's this cataclysmic event that happens when you start seeing people lose value on Amazon, which is like a $3,000 stock, but now it's like obviously $100 stock. Apple and stuff, and it's $1 trillion market cap. when they start losing,
A
excuse me,
$20
when
market
they start
cap.
losing significant value on the market, that induces panic selling. People start jumping ship, like, oh, I don't want to be. They want to buy the dip, right? They want to buy the dip. They want to buy the dip, so they'll sell high. They'll wait till the thing bottoms out. When that happens, you guys,
That's
the
not,
collateral that
that's not even, that makes no sense. That's not why people panic sell. What the fuck? No, you wouldn't even sell high. You couldn't sell high. You're talking about a crash. What the fuck? This guy has no clue. No clue. He doesn't even...
that they
God
use
damn it.
devalues, it gets devalued, and they need to either come up with more margin, right? Margin maintenance money, or they have to come up with more collateral securities in order to maintain that certain level. Now, because of the nature of the market, behavioral finance 101, when panic is induced into the market, it comes from every which way. Everything gets devalued. And when one person starts panicking, they look at the numbers and it's cataclysmic. And the algos, this is the scary part. The algo starts seeing these patterns that they're recognizing. Oh my God, it's a fire sale. I better get the hell out of here. And it starts selling off. So you have investors first, the algos kick on, or it could be the other way around. The algos could go first.
Oh,
they see all
it could
this
be the other way
data,
around
and they have
too.
these parameters
Okay.
set in place, and they start selling off first. Then people start selling, individual retail investors, funds, you name it. And the value of the stock is so low that the short hedge funds have to meet the margin requirements in the form of more collateral or more money,
Yeah,
which
tell.
may not have.
He is trying his hardest, his damnedest to sound like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. And he has no clue what he's fucking talking about. This is such garbage. This is bullshitting 101 right here. Absolutely. I know a bullshitter when I hear it. This guy is full of shit. 100%.
We don't know. We don't know. I do know that these guys have tons of money. I just don't know who the small hedge funds are that don't have that kind of money. If what they're going to do, we have no idea. If they don't make margin, and they have a 2-hour window to make that margin maintenance call, this will cause the first few rips in AMC because they have to continuously pay this amount as people exit from more blue chips. As this thing goes up, it rips, right? It goes up. The next person gets margin called. And then another.
If they can't meet the margin requirements, then AMC is going to start to rip. Because they have to continuously pay this amount as more people exit from blue chip. $30 is that number for small, short hedge fund. What? $30. What does that even fucking mean? Fucking shit.
Another person gets margin called, and their value of their stock goes down, and the price goes even higher. So it's like this weird balancing act, except when this thing runs, it runs fast and hard because of all the accumulated pressure.
Yeah, that sounds like a balancing act. It runs fast and hard, but it's a balancing act.
And of course, devaluation of equities and securities. So when stuff like that happens, guys, we're talking about parabolic movements. Those are the key components that you have to take away from this. We're talking about parabolic movements that are going to be very hard for an algorithm.
All you need to know is that AMC is going to go parabolic. That's all you need to take away from this, because the rest of it's nonsense. Gobbledygook. Gaga goo goo. Baby talk. Shit.
Citadel, the market maker, to come up with, and they have to implement it on the spot.
Wait.
That's not so easy, especially when
Why does Citadel, the market maker, have
parabolic movements? Those are the key components that you have to take away.
Like, he is so uninformed. He's conflating hedge funds with market makers. Listen.
From this, we're talking about parabolic movements that are going to be very hard for an algorithm like Citadel, the market maker, to come up with, and they have to implement it on the spot. That's not so easy, especially when you have a rip and no sells and trying to control the New York Stock Exchange from Chicago and New York. It's going to be pretty hard to do. So they would have to have their sells ready to go. And on that first day, it's going to rip through the stratosphere, because even with all the loaned out shares, they won't be able to stop that first real rip. And my prayer is that we go through the hundreds very quickly and into the thousands, and nobody has preset limits on there. $30 is the number for the small short hedge funds. If we rip past 30 within seconds, the margin calls go out, and it's got to come out fast. And this, because,
how do you know
every
that?
minute, every second that price goes higher, that money amount goes higher for them. So they might just not even have an opportunity to cover. these things. That's why they would need a trading halt in place. The New York Stock Exchange could provide that if they make the phone call, or if the volatility is so bad that.
What the fuck? What in the fuck? This is just such fucking. Yeah, he doesn't. Oh. Yeah, he doesn't know. I mean, Citadel, the market maker, would you know, would have to come up with these algos. I mean, yeah, yes, but he has friends at Harvard. Yeah,
that, you know, there's nothing they can do. Now, this causes the price of AMC to go even higher, forcing even more margin requirements and more maintenance, and has what's called a cascading effect.
What's called
now,
a cascading
the DTCC
effect.
could take custody of the holdings and start selling what is left to start covering their specific fund. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It's written in theory. Yes, they've done it plenty of times, but in this stock, like in a play like this, I just don't know how it would pan out for anybody, because the volatility, if they took it, I mean, would they sell it? Would they just maintain it until, you know, when everything's said and done? I don't know.
What?
I really don't know. But to stay in the play, they need to come up with money.
You don't know shit.
That means DTCC could take custody or start liquidating holdings and assets. That is a very real possibility. Finally, I want to talk about scenario 3, receivership, which is managed event. Now, our friend Lou from New York has talked about this from day one, being a managed event.
What did I
believe
say?
that to be true to some degree. What is a managed event? Well, in so many words, it's receivership. Receivership is a state that one party enters into with the Securities and Exchange Commission and effectively the federal government. When the receiver is concluded through a court or through the SEC, a court appoints a.
What? DTCC, essentially the federal government. It's not a government agency. It's a private company. Al from Azerbaijan.
Receiver to protect property controlled by a person sued in a case. The SEC typically recommends the appointment of a receiver in cases in which the SEC fears a company or an individual may dissipate or waste corporate property and assets in order to survive. You know, crazy things that they might do, like a kamikaze type thing, or they could take custody of the products and solutions and securities that they have, so they don't devalue, and the SEC controls it and it keeps it at a standstill. In both settled and litigated cases, the Division of Enforcement makes recommendations to the courts regarding the persons to assist the court in a variety of capabilities, including as receivers to take control, marshal, maintain, or distribute assets, or to operate the business itself. If you're interested in being considered for a position as a receiver in the SEC enforcement pending in a federal court, you can actually do that on the FCC's website. You can actually become a receiver. And that is a very interesting job, because you can actually do that without with a high school diploma, and you don't need a college diploma for that. You basically secure a building and you just take care of stuff and you work underneath people. Very interesting. But receivership is that event in which the short hedge funds get managed. They send SEC officers to each state, has an office. They they show up, they take everybody out, they kick them all out, they take their cell phones, and then they start to do whatever it is they do. And the stock exchanges are all notified this is happening. Managed. They send SEC officers to each state, has an office. They they show up, they take everybody out, they kick them all out, they take their cell phones, and then they start to.
I think he's from Canada. Actually, I think he's from fucking Canada. I do. That's my actual guess.
Good morning.
Oh my God, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah, I think he's like a native Canadian. That's my bet. He's American? I don't think he's American. I mean, I have no actual proof of that, except the fact that he doesn't understand anything about how the shit works, but I guess the apes don't either, but... I'm going to go with Canadian.
Do whatever it is they do. And the stock exchanges are all notified this is happening, so on and so forth. And a period of time goes by, and they start doing what's called a tender All right, let me just show you guys what that means. Hold on one second.
Great. What in the fuck?
Okay. Now I'll have this linked on the bottom of this video so you have a good chance to read it. What is a tender offer? Okay, now this is the managed event part. A tender offer is a public bid for stockholders to sell their stock. Typically, a tendered offer is commenced when the company's making the offer. The bidder places a summary advertisement or tombstone, a major national newspaper, and the offer to purchase or print it out, and so on and so forth. But obviously, that's not going to happen in this sort of scenario. The SEC will start to do what's called a tender offer via the broker. The broker will put up a day. It'll be $5, $10, $25, whatever. They'll probably keep going up and up until a price where they can cover every share. Now, that is correct. You heard exactly what I said. They have the allocation numbers and how much they need to buy back. And this is where if you hold, this number can fluctuate to very, very high. So you may not even have to hold for your hundreds and whatnot on paper hand. The SEC might just jump in and do that. We don't know what the SEC does, but in an offer, in something like this, a tender offer, these things tend to get kind of crazy. All right. We do have rights in this. Yes, we do have a constitution that protects us to some degree. We don't have to sell anything. There is no expiration date in something like this. I know it says there it's open for a minimum of 20 days, and we have 20 days to get to whatever price it is. But I think what's going to happen is they're going to find a fixed price. It might be 10,000, depending on how many shares are out there. The float.
So this is a specific FAQ from a tender offer that was in place in October of 2006 for Pilgrim's Pride. Pilgrim's Pride has announced that its tender offer is scheduled to expire at midnight. Gold Kissed. This is a specific document, specific to one situation. Talking about merger, tender offer and related merger. I mean, this has nothing to do with a short squeeze. Like 2007 annual meeting of stockholders. Vote. This is, yeah. My God.
And how high this thing was and what can realistically be afforded through the DTCC, the digital coin that Lou talks about. It could go up to the tens of millions, to the billions, to the trillions, probably closer to the trillions. Now, these are speculative numbers I'm giving out, you guys. These aren't concrete and hard and stone. These are merely numbers that I think it's possible with the amount of synthetics and then the hypothecated shares. And of course,
shut the fuck up about synthetics and rehypothecated shares. You've never shown fucking proof of a single one.
Affiliate to deliver.
Shit.
These things are the rocket fuel for this puppy. If it goes up and it screeches through, then so be it. That's what happens. They might just let it run. There's always that scenario.
They're not going to fucking let it run. Why would they, quote, let it run? It makes no sense. Let it run. Just let it run. Let it run.
Numbers, they could all just be put away and sidelined, and then the SEC could just let it run. God knows how high. There could be a ceiling. It could be 10,000. It could be 100,000. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But this is how the actual procedural things, the procedural matters actually work.
No, it's not.
And
it's nothing to do with the fucking short squeeze. It's about fucking mergers. This is a merger and acquisition fucking document. My God.
Of course, the SEC. This has not been codified as policy. These are merely guidelines that they follow. But equity tenders, you can get a tender offer from the SEC for whatever price it may be.
Not from the SEC. It's not from the SEC. Oh my God. Yeah, he
and
has
so
no
on and
clue.
so forth. Now,
None.
I'm going to try to have Pete come back next week to talk about these sorts of things and maybe give us and fill us in with what exactly happens. And because I'm sure he's seen these sorts of things, and he was the one that gave me the idea to talk about this. So I hope you guys found value in this tender offer. And
we found zero value in this. This has no value. This is worthless. It's as worthless as all those AMC calls. Jesus fuck.
Receivership, the managed event. This is a guarantee. This part, and if you look at it, right, this is one of those scenarios where, yeah, we're going to win in all three scenarios, right? But I would prefer the scenario in which there were no shares borrowed from Vanguard and everybody else, and we just got our money cleanly through the court, and they just let the thing run, and that way we get to 100,000 to whatever number it goes to. And that would be ideal for me. I mean, that way there's no stress on anybody. And yeah, we're getting a great amount of money, anything above like 10,
that's gonna happen.
100, between 10 and 100,000, I could probably not get pissed about, because I don't know how much they're able to tolerate systemic risk in a time like this. Maybe they're risk averse, maybe the government will have a floor, but we don't know until this happens. But that is managed scenario 3 receivership, also known as a managed event. If you found value in this video, please continue to watch them. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, hit all notifications. You will see my videos from time to time that are lives, and I do enjoy doing that, and we do Q&A and stuff. So I hope you found value in this. Please continue to like us, and the work that we do this for you guys. We want you to be ready, prepared, both mentally and through academics, how these things happen. I'm Al from Boston. I'm signing out. Have a great night.
So now I know where Frankie Muhammad gets his phrase stock fraud. Stock fraud. That's straight from Al from Boston. Yeah, Al is a fucking fraud. Oh my God. Yeah, he's infuriating. Al from BC, British Columbia. I think it's possible. Oh my God. Fat man, back. Fat man's back. So glad. I'm so glad everything's okay with the fat man. Oh my God, okay. Selfish when I open your legs, I smell fish. You talk too much to everybody. Oh, well, never did this one, but I never got to Wes Christian. But because I did see some stuff recently, even I think Al talked about it. So Al from Lose Asshole, I like that. I'll be a little bitch. I like that. Little bitch. Al is a little bitch. He really is. But I know Frank Muhammad was talking about a lawyer. He put a video out recently. And I think he got the idea from Al, who put out something about a lawyer too. So, yeah, it is. You can see the flow of information here. I mean, information, that's a loosely used term here. I guess technically what people pass from one to another in the game of telephone is information, but again, that's a very liberal. See, I heard out. Kick them out. I didn't say it right, but I heard it. That's what I heard. So I don't know. Kick the song. So yeah. Even the out. Kick him out. Now, one of my favorite Canadians on YouTube is a guy by the name of AVE. And he's my favorite Canadian on YouTube by far. If anybody knows AVE.
The old adage rings true. I ain't got enough money to buy cheap tools. Disappointment the first. You know what really grinds my gears? You spend a premium in order to buy once and cry once, and the Jesus thing ain't no fucking good at all. Buck knife. First time camping, out in the bush, getting that larch.
Out in the bush.
Broke the thing right half in two. Well, you got 10 fingers, and you got one dingus, and this thing, I don't know the difference, so it's going right in the fucking bucket. This here is a key what slides into the ignition of a John Deere Gator. That's a piece of farming gear. It's a piece of equipment, rather expensive one, but inflation's running 40% and they're offering 0% down. I'll take that bank's money any day. This is the ignition key. What you gotta slide into the ignition and turn. Made of a low durometer rubber. Garbage. The Jesus thing is about 1 million Kanakistan kopecks, which realistically translates to half a six-pack of beer and a fag end. And this one sent me over the edge. You know what that is? Allow me to show you. I gingerly set my purse down the side of the Bridgeport milling machine. Lo and behold, that Chinesium cast pop top and aborted female fetuses broke clean off. Now I got nothing to hold my collets up. Figured if I got it from the United Soviet States of America, I wouldn't come with the monkeypox built right in. As a self-imposed lesbian of color, I got this strictly through heterosexual sex with another man. What goes on in the East Kootenays? Look at this. I feel like the pirate what went into the bar with a ship's helm around his cock. What
I don't
for
think
you
there's
got that?
any way that Al is in the armed
It's
forces
driving me
personally,
nuts.
but
look at this. Made in the USA. Can't even take the time to put a Jesus sticker on right. You know who uses collets and subsequently their collet holders? Machinists. Some old grizzled veteran gonna be looking at that sideward sticker on there for 40 fucking years. By the Jesus, whoever's managing the sticker department over at what? Get your fucking head out of your ass, partner.
my favorite Canadian on YouTube. Anyway, in closing, I think Al from Boston's probably going to need a lawyer. I mean, in a fair world, he would be the one who needs a lawyer. Apes, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'll be back on Sunday for the futures. And yes, the futures do open on Sunday, even though the market is closed on Monday. So they had, it's like last time, what was that holiday we just had? Or there was a holiday. There was a, what was it? I don't know. Memorial Day? No. Yeah, Memorial Day. That's right, because Al started to say Veterans Day that one time. We did notice that. So, no, this one is Juneteenth, yeah, but I'm saying it was like the last holiday, which market was closed on Monday. And that was Memorial Day. This one is Juneteenth, correct. But like Memorial Day, the futures opened on Sunday night, and then went to Monday morning, closed throughout the day, and then reopened at 5 or 6. So it's the same deal. So we'll be here for that on Sunday around 6. So we'll see you all then. Have a good night. Enjoy your Saturday tomorrow. Don't watch any Al videos. Not financial advice. You can do what you want.